Across peaceful fields, goats do more than just contribute to the economy. They bring an unmatched vibrancy to every farm. With their curious and agile nature, they are never still, constantly exploring the world in their own unique way, filling their surroundings with energy and mischief. Despite their small size and playful demeanor, goats are a true treasure to humanity. Few realize that these remarkable creatures generate over $13 billion annually for the global economy, from nutrient-rich milk and flavorful meat to essential everyday products. A massive value hidden behind a humble appearance. On the farm, goats no longer have to compete for grass in the fields, but are provided with a premium, well-balanced diet under strict control. Modern machinery harvests fresh grass, then chops, cleans, and evenly distributes it through an automatic feeding system. Each goat receives an equal portion, along with protein-rich pellets and natural minerals, all adjusted to their age and condition. This ensures optimal nutrition, keeping them healthy and strong. When the goats show signs of readiness for milking, they are brought to the milking area, where the process is carefully carried out using modern machinery to ensure the collection of fresh, nutrient-rich milk. Goats are gently secured on a platform to prevent movement and reduce stress. Before milking starts, an automatic feeding system provides snacks to keep the goats happy throughout the process. The goats' udders are then carefully cleaned and gently massaged to stimulate milk flow. The milking machines, equipped with soft silicone cups that mimic natural suckling, gently attach to the udders and begin extracting the milk. These high-tech milking machines operate quickly and efficiently, usually taking 5 to 10 minutes to milk each goat. In addition to traditional milking stalls, modern farms now use carousel-style milking systems, which allow multiple goats to be milked simultaneously with high precision and efficiency. The continuous rotation of the carousel ensures a fast, clean, and stress-free milking process. Once the milking is complete, the milk is transferred through stainless steel pipes into specialized storage tanks for processing. The first step is filtration, which removes impurities such as hair, dirt, or small particles. After filtration, the milk is rapidly chilled to around 4 degrees Celsius to prevent bacterial growth and maintain its fresh taste. After rigorous quality checks, the milk is transferred to large tanks, ready for the next stages of processing. One of the most popular goat milk products is cheese. The cheese-making process begins with pasteurizing the milk. There are 2 common pasteurization methods: quick pasteurization and slow pasteurization. Among them, slow pasteurization is preferred for its ability to retain the milk's natural flavor. This method involves heating the milk to 63 to 65 degrees Celsius for 30 minutes to kill bacteria without destroying essential nutrients. After pasteurization, the milk can be rapidly cooled to maintain its freshness, natural flavor, and nutritional value. It is then transferred to a sterile packaging line, where it is poured into plastic bottles or cartons to ensure food safety. Throughout this process, every step takes place in a strictly controlled environment to prevent bacterial contamination. Once packaged, the milk is labeled with complete information about its origin, expiration date, and nutritional content before being stored in refrigerated warehouses. From there, it is transported under stable temperature conditions to stores, supermarkets, and distributors, ensuring the highest quality when it reaches consumers. If cheese is to be made, the milk undergoes further processing after pasteurization. Next, bacterial cultures, usually lactobacillus, are added to the milk. These bacteria convert lactose into lactic acid, causing the milk to curdle and develop its characteristic tangy flavor. Rennet, an enzyme from animal or plant sources, is then added to help the milk solidify into curds. This process typically takes 30 minutes to a few hours, depending on the type of cheese being produced. For certain types of blue-veined goat cheese, such as Blo de Chèvre or Monte Enambro, cheesemakers add a specific mold called Penicillium roqueforti at this stage. This mold grows throughout the aging process, creating the signature blue veins inside the cheese and developing a rich, slightly spicy flavor. Once the milk curdles, the curd is cut into smaller pieces using specialized tools. The size of the curds determines the final texture of the cheese. Smaller curds create firmer cheese, while larger curds result in softer cheese. The curds are then gently stirred to help separate the whey from the curds. This process usually takes 15 to 30 minutes. The whey is then drained and can be used for making other products like yogurt or butter. Once the curds reach the desired consistency, they are pressed into molds to create the final shape. For blue cheeses, the cheese is pierced with fine needles to allow air inside, encouraging the growth of Penicillium mold, which creates the distinctive blue veins and tangy flavor. The cheese is then soaked in a salt brine to enhance flavor and improve shelf life. After salting, the cheese is moved to an aging room with controlled temperature and humidity. Depending on the type of cheese, the aging process can last from a few days to several months or even years. In modern factories, goat cheese is packaged using advanced automated systems for efficiency and hygiene. After aging, it is cut to size, vacuum sealed or wrapped in wax paper, and labeled with product details. Finally, workers pack the cheese into cartons for storage and distribution, ensuring freshness and quality. Besides milk, goat meat is one of the most important red meats in the world. It has a lower fat content than beef and pork, but is rich in protein and essential minerals. In modern processing facilities, goat meat is processed through a professional and strictly controlled system to ensure the highest product quality and freshness. After entering the factory, goats undergo a professional processing procedure that combines modern technology with skilled craftsmanship. They are cleaned, then sequentially go through leg removal, skinning, and evisceration with the support of specialized tools. The process is fast, precise, and hygienic, ensuring fresh, high-quality meat for the next processing stages. After the organs have been removed, the carcass is moved to the washing station. A high-pressure water spraying system thoroughly cleans the surface of the goat, removing any remaining dirt, hair, or impurities. Once the goat carcass is fully cleaned, it is hung on racks to drain any excess water before being packaged. Depending on customer requirements, the goat can be packaged whole or cut into smaller portions, such as ribs, leg cuts, or loin. The meat is then vacuum sealed or placed in plastic packaging to maintain freshness and prevent contamination. The packaged goat meat is stored in cold storage at a controlled temperature of -18 degrees Celsius to -20 degrees Celsius. This freezing process helps preserve the color, flavor, and texture of the meat, ensuring it stays fresh for longer periods. After packaging, goat meat is transported by refrigerated trucks or airplanes to maintain the proper temperature. It is distributed to supermarkets, restaurants, and international markets, ensuring freshness and high quality. Thanks to a modern system, the meat reaches the market quickly while maintaining top standards. Can you believe it? The animal famously known as the desert warrior, deeply associated with arid lands, was actually not born in the desert. Surprisingly, its ancestors once roamed the lush highlands of North America. Over millions of years of evolution and migration, camels gradually adapted and transformed, ultimately becoming the enduring symbol of survival in some of the harshest environments on Earth. Here's a fun fact. Up to 90% of people mistakenly believe that a camel's hump stores water, but in reality, it stores fat. This fat helps camels sustain their energy during long periods without food. When the hump starts to shrink, it's a sign that the camel is running low on energy and needs nutritional replenishment. Camels are truly the ultimate desert warriors. Armed with 3 layers of eyelashes to fend off sand, powerful legs that carry them over 64 kilometers a day without tiring, ears that can detect distant sandstorms, and nostrils that filter out dust effortlessly, even while they're enjoying lunch. Under the blazing sun of the desert, the tall camels are gently guided, preparing for a special journey, starting with being lifted onto a specialized truck to leave their familiar arid homeland. The story begins on sun-drenched mornings at bustling ports that lie between the harsh borders of desert and sea. One by one, cargo ships arrive, carrying very special passengers, tall, majestic camels. Soon after, these camels are carefully loaded into specialized containers, bidding farewell to the burning sand dunes behind them as they head toward a new land, where cutting-edge modern factories await. These camels are transported from traditional breeding regions in the United Arab Emirates to countries like Australia and several parts of Europe, where the camel milk industry is gradually emerging as a highly promising sector, attracting growing interest and major investment from around the world. Not only does the camel have a unique body structure, it also possesses a remarkable reproductive mechanism. Unlike many other animals, female camels do not ovulate on a regular cycle. They only release eggs in response to the presence and courtship of a male. This makes fertilization more complex, often requiring human intervention such as controlled mating schedules or artificial insemination. Pregnancy lasts up to 13 months and typically results in the birth of a single calf. In harsh desert environments, if not carefully monitored, the risk of the calf suffocating in the womb is real, with an estimated occurrence of about 1 in every 100 births. Yet, despite the challenges, newborn camels are surprisingly resilient. Within just a few hours of birth, they can stand, take their first shaky steps, and begin following their mother, ready to embark on their journey of survival in the unforgiving desert. After giving birth, a mother camel becomes the white gold factory of the desert, producing precious milk that sustains the entire herd. However, milking a camel is far from simple. Camels are highly sensitive animals. They only release milk when their calf is nearby. That's why, before each milking session, the young calf must be brought close to the mother to trigger her natural biological response. The person milking the camel must be gentle, patient, and attuned to the animal's emotions. Every movement must be calm and steady, as even a slight sense of stress or disrespect can cause the camel to stop producing milk immediately, rendering all efforts futile. In modern farms, this process is elevated with the support of standard livestock housing systems and automatic milking machines. The mother camels are placed in separate stalls in an orderly fashion to avoid overcrowding and reduce stress. Here, the staff gently cleans the teats with warm water and antiseptic solution, ensuring hygiene while helping the camels relax before the milking process begins. The automatic milking machine designed for camels has a special structure, with soft suction tubes that mimic the natural sucking motion of a camel calf. This system operates smoothly, gently, and quietly, effectively stimulating the milk glands without causing discomfort to the mother camel. After milking, the milk is transferred through a closed pipe system and directly into a cooling tank to maintain its freshness and prevent bacterial growth. While camel milk is praised as the golden milk of the desert, with a wide range of health benefits, many of its miraculous properties, such as curing autism and combating diabetes, remain in the realm of folklore rather than scientific evidence. Camel milk, after being quickly cooled in stainless steel tanks, is transported by specialized tanker trucks to the processing plant. Here, the milk goes through a multi-layer filtration system to remove any sediment and fine impurities before undergoing a high-temperature pasteurization process for a short period. This method helps to eliminate harmful bacteria while retaining the natural flavor and valuable nutrients of the camel milk. After the milk has been pasteurized, the bottling process begins with bottle cleaning. Empty plastic bottles are fed into the production line, flipped upside down, and sprayed with hot water or a high-pressure disinfectant solution. Each bottle is thoroughly sterilized to ensure no bacteria or impurities remain that could affect the milk's quality. Next, the bottles are moved to the filling station. Here, an automated filling machine pumps milk into each bottle with high precision. Bottles are positioned under the filling heads, where sensors and automated controllers ensure that each bottle is filled with the exact standard volume of milk, while minimizing any leakage or contamination during the process. Immediately after filling, the bottles are sealed using an automatic capping machine, which tightly secures the caps to prevent leaks. Finally, the finished bottles are transported to the plastic crate packing area. After packing, the products are moved into a temporary cold storage facility, awaiting shipment to distribution centers or supermarkets. In addition to bottled milk products, a portion of the processed camel milk is directed to the cheese-making area, a premium product line often associated with the elite and discerning gourmets. After careful pasteurization, the milk is enriched with specialized cultures and enzymes to initiate the natural coagulation process. Under ideal temperature conditions, the milk gradually thickens and forms a smooth, soft curd. Once the desired level of coagulation is reached, the curd is cut into small pieces, gently drained of whey, and placed into molds for shaping. The molds are then transferred to an aging room, where temperature and humidity are strictly controlled to cultivate the cheese's signature texture and flavor. After an aging process that can last from several days to a few weeks, smooth ivory white wheels of camel cheese are born. More than just an exotic delicacy, they represent the rare essence of a precious raw ingredient and refined craftsmanship, a true culinary gem from the distant deserts. At modern processing plants, camel meat is handled through a closed-loop system that strictly adheres to international food safety standards. Immediately after preliminary processing, the camel carcass is suspended on an automated conveyor system, moving smoothly and precisely through each stage of the operation. The carcass then continues along the processing line to the deboning section. Here, it is first split in half using a specialized cutting saw, then divided into major muscle groups such as the shoulder, thigh, and loin. The deboning process is carried out either by a high-precision mechanical blade system or by experienced technicians, ensuring the complete removal of bones, excess fat, tendons, and unwanted connective tissues. After being split in half, the two sides of the carcass are placed by skilled workers onto specialized work tables or moved along to the next conveyor belt for further breakdown. With the aid of professional cutting knives and cut-resistant gloves, they begin separating the meat based on the anatomical structure. Each movement is swift and precise, following the natural muscle lines and joint connections to maximize meat yield and ensure clean, well-shaped cuts that are easy to package. Premium cuts are separated and sent to specialized trimming or high-end packaging areas, while remaining portions such as lean trimmings or fat are collected for ground meat or processed food products. After being properly sorted and processed, the meat is transferred to the packaging area, where the entire process is carried out in a cold environment to maintain freshness. Depending on the intended use, the meat may be vacuum-packed, sealed in shrink-wrap trays, or placed in sterilized plastic bags. Automated packaging machines accurately weigh each portion and wrap it with specialized, leak-proof materials designed to protect the product. Once sealed, each package is labeled automatically with complete information: product name, meat type, weight, production date, expiration date, storage instructions, batch number, and a QR code for traceability. This packaging process not only preserves product quality, but also facilitates efficient storage and distribution. Portioned or ground meat products are also packaged in the same way, with predetermined weights according to standardized packaging formats, ensuring convenience for use and distribution, while also meeting food safety requirements and maintaining visual appeal on store shelves. Camels today are no longer just the iconic image of herds slowly crossing vast deserts. In modern farms, they live like professional athletes, with tailored nutrition plans, designated living spaces, and even daily schedules for exercise and rest. These farms are typically located in expansive, semi-desert regions with well-structured layouts and perimeter fencing. This setup provides camels with the freedom to move around while allowing for efficient management. The herds are systematically divided based on age, gender, and purpose, whether for milk production, meat, or breeding. Camels' primary diet consists of dry grass, alfalfa, grains, and fiber-rich mixed feeds. They don't eat large quantities at once, but they chew thoroughly, making their meals slow and quiet. Although they are known as masters of thirst, camels in modern farms are still provided with ample clean water daily, delivered through automated drinking troughs installed throughout the grazing areas. The journey of the camel ends not merely at its final destination, but as the beginning of new stories, where its value continues to unfold in unexpected and fascinating ways. Before the streamlined processes of today's modern factories, do you know where chicken tenders actually came from? Surprisingly, this iconic dish was born from a kitchen accident in the 1970s at the Puritan Backroom Restaurant in New Hampshire, when a chef mistakenly separated the tenderloin, the soft cut of meat beneath the chicken breast. He decided to bread it, deep fry it, and serve it. The unexpected flavor wowed diners with its juicy, tender inside and crispy coating. And from that moment on, the name chicken tenders was born. Although KFC didn't invent the dish, It was the brand that helped popularize chicken tenders around the world. Since the 1990s, they've added extra crispy tenders to their menu, and the item quickly gained popularity thanks to its convenience, easy-to-eat format, and the signature KFC flavor, made possible by a secret recipe that will be revealed in this video. And like every great story, the journey of chicken tenders begins on modern farms, where chickens are raised on a special nutritional regimen to develop thick, tender breasts and tenderloins, perfectly suited to become the star ingredient of one of the world's favorite dishes. Let's explore the world of modern poultry farms, where each baby chick is raised with a perfect blend of advanced technology and human dedication. Here, as soon as the hens begin laying eggs, an automated collection system jumps into action. The eggs gently roll onto conveyor belts, avoiding any damage, and are transported straight to inspection and sorting areas. Every day, thousands of eggs are collected with near-perfect precision, ready to enter the magical stage of incubation. Inside high-tech incubation chambers, where temperature and humidity are tightly controlled, the eggs are carefully rotated by automated machines to ensure the embryos develop evenly. And then, after 21 days of quiet anticipation, the first baby chicks break free and chirp their way into the world, carrying with them a promise of something special. The dream of one day becoming a legendary KFC fried chicken. The chicks are then transported to modern poultry farms, where their 7 system. A smart ventilation system controls CO2 levels and humidity, minimizing the risk of respiratory illnesses. After just 5 to 6 weeks, or around 35 to 42 days, the chicks grow into fully developed broilers, ready for the final stage of their journey, heading to the processing plant, where their dream of making it onto a KFC plate finally comes true. When they reach the appropriate age, the chickens are gently gathered using advanced equipment, like robotic caretakers, with soft robotic arms and smart rotating brushes that carefully place them onto conveyor belts. This ensures the chickens line up smoothly and are swiftly guided into transport crates, ready for their journey to the processing plant. Once the chickens arrive at the processing plant, they enter a modern, highly optimized system designed to ensure quality at every step. Before moving on to the next stages, the chickens are given a rest period of 1 to 2 hours to reduce stress and stabilize their condition. After the resting period, the chickens are placed onto automated conveyor systems, where they go through advanced processing stages. Stunning is performed using either low-voltage electrical currents or CO2 gas, helping to minimize stress for the chickens while ensuring the processing is quick and efficient. After the initial processing steps, the chickens move through a hot water bath maintained at a temperature between 50 and 60 degrees Celsius. The purpose of this step is to loosen the feathers and outer layers, making the defeathering process easier and more effective. Here, a set of rubber fingers mounted on rotating shafts acts like skillful hands, using spinning motion and friction to remove feathers precisely and efficiently. Each rubber finger has a specific softness and flexibility, allowing it to reach tougher areas and remove coarser feathers without damaging the delicate skin underneath. Next, the chickens move on to the evisceration stage, where modern machinery is used to open the abdominal cavity and carefully remove the internal organs. This process ensures cleanliness while preserving the freshness and quality of the meat. After the chickens are cleaned, high-precision automated cutting machines swiftly and efficiently remove the feet, head, and other parts. These machines are highly adaptable, allowing them to accurately separate components like the neck, wings, thighs, and breast meat into individual portions while preserving the quality of the meat. These very parts go on to become the beloved fried chicken pieces served by KFC. Next, the chicken breast is carefully separated and handled with great precision. This step requires skill and accuracy, as the breast meat can be easily damaged if not processed correctly. Once separated, the breast is passed through a specialized skin removal machine. This machine operates with remarkable delicacy, gently peeling off the skin without harming the tender meat underneath, preserving its freshness and quality. After the skin is removed, the breast is then carefully cut away from the bone. This stage demands close attention to detail to ensure the meat remains intact, without tearing or damage. Sharp blades and precise cutting techniques help extract clean breast meat with no bone fragments left behind. The result is a perfect, tender chicken breast, ready for the next stages of processing. During this process, the most tender part of the breast, known as the tenderloin, is also separated. Tenderloin is a juicy, flavorful, and nutrient-rich cut of meat, located just beneath the breast. It is the ideal ingredient for creating delicious, tender chicken, thanks to its naturally tender texture and satisfying taste. Once the tenderloin is perfectly cleaned, it enters one of the most intriguing stages that has fascinated the world, coating with KFC's legendary 11-spice blend. While the exact recipe is kept securely locked in a safe, rumors have circulated about the inclusion of salt, black pepper, paprika, garlic, onion, mustard, and several other secret herbs. It's this meticulous blending and golden ratio that creates an unmistakable flavor, mildly spicy, savory, and irresistibly aromatic. Here, the chicken is coated with the exclusive dry batter, a mixture that has been carefully perfected to adhere evenly to the meat's surface. Depending on the product line, the chicken may be dipped in a wet batter before being coated again with the dry batter, resulting in an extra crispy texture. Finally, each piece of chicken is placed into an industrial pressure fryer, a special piece of equipment that helps maintain a stable temperature and ensures even cooking from the inside out. Thanks to this method, the outer crust turns golden and crispy, while the meat inside remains tender, juicy, and irresistibly fragrant, the signature addictive flavor of KFC that millions of people love. When it comes to chicken tenders, many people often confuse them with chicken strips or chicken fingers, but in reality, they are quite different. Chicken tenders are the tenderloin part, located just beneath the chicken breast, extremely soft, juicy, and naturally long-shaped. On the other hand, chicken strips are simply chicken breast sliced into long strips, more abundant, cheaper, but can easily become dry if not cooked properly. They may look similar, but once you taste them, you'll instantly know which one is the premium version. And when it comes to premium chicken tenders, you simply can't leave out the legendary dipping sauces. At KFC, there isn't just one, but an entire lineup of bold flavors. From honey mustard and smoky barbecue, to rich, creamy ranch and the signature comeback sauce. Mildly spicy, tangy, and seriously addictive. It's the sauce that elevates each crispy bite, turning a simple piece of fried chicken into a memorable experience. So if you think the chicken's good but missing something, chances are you picked the wrong sauce. Chicken tenders aren't just for dipping. Try transforming them into creative and exciting dishes. First, tuck them into a burger for a quick, well-balanced lunch. Looking for a healthier option? Cut them into bite-sized pieces and toss them into a salad, not only adding protein but also boosting your vitamin intake with fresh greens. Another convenient idea is to wrap them in a tortilla for an easy-to-go meal. And if you're a fan of Asian-style cuisine, just slice the tenders and stir-fry them with rice for a flavorful, unique chicken fried rice. No matter how you enjoy them, you'll feel the flavor explosion in every single bite. Chicken tenders may seem simple, but every bite is carefully crafted. From the cut of
Everyone, welcome back to Agriculture Insight. Did you know that over 3 billion kebabs are sold worldwide every year? Nicknamed the king of street food, kebabs have conquered the hearts of millions of food enthusiasts with their sizzling, juicy grilled meat, seasoned to perfection and infused deeply with delicious flavors. But have you ever wondered how a perfect kebab skewer is made? Each slice of meat is carefully marinated and roasted slowly on rotating spits with absolute precision. Today, Agriculture Insight will take you on a journey behind the creation of these legendary kebabs, uncovering exactly what makes this dish so irresistibly appealing. So, what are we waiting for? Let's dive right in. And now, let's step inside the modern kebab production factories, where advanced technology and streamlined processes come together to create those iconic golden, mouth-watering towers of kebab meat, ready to serve millions of meals daily across the globe. Once beef, chicken, or pork arrives at the factory, it immediately enters the preparation area. Here, workers meticulously trim and clean the meat, removing excess fat, skin, tendons, and impurities, ensuring only the highest quality lean meat remains. For beef kebabs, large slabs of meat are placed into automatic slicers, which expertly slice them into thin, uniform pieces of a precise standard thickness. This allows the meat to absorb seasoning evenly and ensures it cooks thoroughly, creating a deliciously crispy outer layer while keeping the inside juicy and tender. Meanwhile, for mixed meat kebabs, chicken and pork are cleaned and then transferred into industrial-grade grinders. These machines blend the meat thoroughly with spices like garlic, salt, pepper, paprika, cumin, and other seasonings, producing a smooth, sticky, paste-like mixture. This meat glue helps hold the kebab firmly together, preventing it from falling apart during cooking. Next, the sliced meat moves to specialized marination equipment. These machines gently mix spices into the meat slices without damaging their structure, carefully controlling temperature throughout the entire process. In addition to essential spices like garlic, onions, paprika, pepper, and salt, each factory has its own secret blend of spices and recipes. After seasoning, the meat is refrigerated and marinated for 8 to 12 hours, allowing the flavors to penetrate deeply while preserving freshness. And now comes the moment we've all been waiting for: the assembly of those famous kebab towers. Starting from the bottom of the metal vertical skewer, skilled workers stack each seasoned slice of meat in a tight spiral formation. With beef or sliced chicken kebabs, each slice is firmly pressed by hand onto the skewer, ensuring the meat stays intact throughout the roasting process. For mixed meat kebabs, workers manually shape and press layers of finely ground meat mixture onto the skewer, creating a compact, seamless, and cohesive meat tower. At certain factories, layers of cheese may even be added in between, creating an irresistible, melted cheese pull effect once cooked. A single large kebab tower can weigh up to 60 kilograms, enough to serve around 250 customers in a single day. Once the kebab tower reaches its desired height and weight, workers carefully shape and smooth the surface, ensuring a perfectly even, firm, and visually appealing cylindrical shape. After final shaping, the meat tower is wrapped in specialized food-grade plastic wrap to prevent contamination and maintain its form. The kebab towers then enter rapid freezing chambers at extremely low temperatures, between -35 degrees Celsius and -40 degrees Celsius, locking in flavor, moisture, and texture. Finally, they're stored in cold storage warehouses maintained at 18 degrees Celsius, ready to be distributed locally or exported internationally. But not all kebab towers are distributed whole and frozen. For ready-to-eat kebab products, the meat towers are roasted right in the factory instead of being frozen. The giant kebab skewers are mounted onto specialized industrial roasting machines, designed to replicate the same slow rotation cooking process you'd see at any kebab shop. The meat slowly rotates around multi-directional heating elements powered by gas or electricity, cooking the meat evenly and consistently. The outer layer gradually turns golden brown, crispy, and aromatic, while the inner meat retains its moisture and rich flavor. The temperature and cooking duration are carefully automated to prevent the meat from drying out or burning, preserving its ideal texture and tenderness. Can you already smell the aroma of freshly roasted kebab filling the air? These steaming hot slices of tender kebab, with their crispy edges and succulent texture, are collected onto trays and swiftly moved to the packaging area, ready to delight hungry customers around the world. Now let's get closer to the ingredients that make up the kebab. At large-scale cattle farms housing thousands of cows, livestock farming today is no longer reliant solely on manual labor. It's been revolutionized by automation and technology. A typical diet for beef cattle primarily includes hay or silage, finely ground corn, and soybean meal or pulp, all ingredients rich in fiber, energy, and protein. This balanced diet helps cattle grow quickly, remain healthy, and produce high-quality meat. To accurately blend these ingredients, modern farms employ automated feed mixers capable of handling tons of feed per hour, ensuring each cow receives a consistent, precisely formulated diet. These powerful mixers chop, mix, and grind ingredients thoroughly, producing a uniform meal for the entire herd. Once mixed, the feed is transferred to automatic feeding machines, robots or specialized vehicles that travel along feeding troughs inside the barn. Gone are the days when dozens of workers had to shovel feed manually. Now, just a few simple commands deliver nutritious, clean, and timely meals to hundreds of cattle at once. It takes at least 18 months for cattle to fully mature and reach the ideal weight for processing. This marks their final journey to meat processing plants. At processing plants, cattle legs are removed and transferred to a separate area. Then, the animals proceed to the skinning stage, where workers manually remove part of the hide. The partially skinned animal is then placed into an automated skinning machine, which gently but swiftly pulls the hide away, revealing the fresh, red meat underneath. The cattle are then moved to evisceration, where skilled workers make careful incisions in the abdomen to remove internal organs. Finally, the carcasses enter a chilling room maintained at 0 to 4 degrees Celsius, rapidly cooling and preserving freshness, preparing them for the next cutting and sorting stages. In modern plants, meat cutting is almost entirely automated. Carcasses pass through advanced 3D scanners and laser sensors that precisely identify optimal cutting locations, maximizing yield of lean meat, fat, and bone. Automated industrial saws then divide the carcasses into large sections such as shoulders, loins, rump, brisket, and ribs. These sections are conveyed to sorting lines where workers inspect and arrange them according to specific processing needs. Among these cuts, the shoulder, thigh, and loin yield the best meat for kebabs: firm, lean, low-fat cuts with excellent texture and deep flavor. When sliced thin and roasted, this meat remains tender, juicy, and aromatic.
Nutella originated in Italy and quickly became a culinary icon beloved across Europe and the US. Every year, over 1.5 billion jars of Nutella are consumed worldwide, with Europe and America making up the largest share of sales. Nutella is a masterful combination of simple yet high-quality ingredients, creating its unique and irresistible flavor. The key components include hazelnuts, about 13%. These give Nutella its signature flavor and are packed with nutritional benefits. Cocoa powder, about 8%, adds a rich chocolatey taste that makes Nutella a true delight. Sugar, about 55%. Derived from sugar beets, it acts as both a sweetener and a natural preservative. Palm oil, about 20%, ensures a smooth, spreadable texture. Skimmed milk powder, about 5%, contributes creaminess and adds nutritional value. This perfect balance of ingredients is what makes Nutella a household favorite around the world. Hazelnuts are the heart and soul of Nutella, delivering its signature nutty, creamy richness. Approximately 25% of the world's hazelnut harvest goes directly into making this beloved spread. Every hazelnut's journey starts in the orchard. Hazelnuts are primarily grown in the US and Europe, with Turkey leading production at 70% of the global supply. In the US, Oregon is the hazelnut hub, thanks to its temperate climate featuring wet winters and cool summers. The perfect environment for hazelnut trees. Hazelnuts are not grown directly from seeds, but are grown from cuttings from nurseries. Hazelnut trees are typically propagated from strong, carefully selected branches, nurtured in nurseries. These branches are either grafted or cloned from healthy, mature trees to ensure they grow well and resist diseases. They are grown in nurseries with careful care to become large seedlings. Once the cuttings have developed enough roots, they are harvested for sorting and chemical treatment. The branches are dipped into a root-stimulating solution to encourage faster root development, improve survival rates, and ensure the saplings grow strong during their early stages. This meticulous process lays the foundation for the lush hazelnut orchards that ultimately make Nutella possible. Once carefully selected, hazelnut saplings embark on their new journey in expansive fields. Specialized planting machines are used to automate the process of placing the saplings into the soil. These machines clamp the saplings, dig precise holes, position the saplings, and compact the soil around the roots swiftly and accurately. A large hazelnut orchard can be planted within just a few hours. After planting, hazelnut trees require meticulous care from planting to harvest to ensure optimal yield and quality. During the early years, young trees are regularly watered using automatic watering system. Paired with nutrient-rich fertilizers to promote root and stem growth. They also weed regularly to help the plants grow well, while pests and diseases are managed through biological methods or safe pesticides to keep the trees healthy. Hazelnut trees typically start bearing fruit about 3 to 5 years after planting. Harvest season occurs in the fall when the nuts are ready. A key indicator of ripeness is when the outer husks change from green to golden brown and the nuts begin naturally falling from the branches, especially after a light breeze. Ripe hazelnuts naturally drop to the ground, where specialized machines quickly and efficiently gather them, ensuring the nuts remain fresh and of high quality. This streamlined process sets the stage for transforming hazelnuts into delightful treats like Nutella. Hazelnuts often ripen and fall naturally to the ground, so row sweepers take over, moving methodically through the orchards to gather the fallen hazelnuts into neat rows on the ground. These machines are equipped with rotating brushes or soft paddles close to the soil surface, working seamlessly to sweep the nuts while protecting the ground and nearby trees. During operation, the sweepers use a gentle air-blowing system to remove dust and dry leaves from the hazelnuts, leaving clean and tidy rows ready for the next stage. This ensures that the nuts are easy to collect while maintaining their quality. Finally, specialized nut harvesters get to work, using powerful vacuum systems or rotating brushes to collect the hazelnuts from the neatly swept rows. The nuts are then transported via a conveyor system for preliminary sorting, where lightweight debris like dry leaves or twigs is removed by controlled air jets. The cleaned nuts are funneled into storage bins at the back of the harvester, ready to be unloaded into transport trucks. This streamlined process not only ensures the nuts are collected efficiently, but also preserves their freshness and quality for further processing. The specialized nut harvesters used in hazelnut farming are advanced machines with a price range typically between $50,000 and $100,000, depending on their size and features. Finally, they are loaded onto trucks for transportation to the processing facility. hazelnuts arrive at the processing facility and are emptied onto receiving conveyors. Here, they undergo preliminary cleaning using air blowers or screening systems to remove soil, stones, and larger debris like leaves and small branches. The cleaned hazelnuts are transferred to specialized drying chambers designed to remove excess moisture to achieve efficient and damage-free shelling. The hazelnuts are fed into a vibrating screen system, which is designed to efficiently separate kernels from shells and other debris. The vibrating motion ensures that smaller particles fall through precisely sized mesh screens, while the intact kernels are guided to the next stage of processing. This system not only increases efficiency, but also maintains the quality of the hazelnuts by minimizing mechanical damage. Once shelled, the hazelnut kernels are cleaned again and moved to a manual sorting station. Here, workers meticulously inspect each kernel along conveyor belts, using their expertise to identify and remove broken pieces, defective kernels, or any that fail to meet quality standards. This hands-on approach ensures that only the finest hazelnut kernels are selected for the next steps in processing. This thorough and detailed post-harvest process guarantees that the hazelnuts are of the highest quality before they are used in making products like Nutella. For hazelnuts that are eaten directly, they are packed into packages. The cleaned and graded hazelnuts are fed into automated weighing systems, which measure exact portions based on the desired package weight. These portions are then funneled into pre-made packaging materials, often designed for airtight sealing to preserve the nut's freshness and flavor. The sealed bags are printed with labels detailing weight, origin, and expiration date. In addition, they are also packed in large bags to be shipped directly to the Nutella factory for production. Now that we've explored the role of hazelnuts in Nutella, let's dive into the other ingredients that make this spread so iconic. Sugar makes up 55% of Nutella's composition and is sourced from sugar beets. Before reaching the factory, sugar beets are harvested using advanced, specialized machinery. These machines allow for quick and efficient harvesting while ensuring the quality of the produce. As the harvest season begins, the vast sugar beet fields are bustling with specialized machinery tasked with the job. These harvesters are specifically designed for precise and optimal extraction of sugar beets. The harvesting process begins as the machine enters the field where the sugar beets have matured. Sugar beet harvesters typically feature a sharp, controlled cutting system that digs deep into the soil to separate the beet roots from the ground. This digging component can cut and lift the beets without breaking them or harming the soil. Once lifted, the beets are transferred to a conveyor belt that moves them to the cleaning units. After harvesting, the sugar beets are transported to a roadside storage area. The trucks cannot go down into the fields, so they use a special conveyor belt to load the sugar beets onto the trucks. Before reaching the factory, sugar beets are gathered in large storage yards. It's impressive to see the enormous volume of beets, isn't it? Consolidating large quantities of beets in this area not only highlights the scale of production, but also serves a practical purpose. It optimizes the workflow, ensuring that raw materials are continuously and efficiently ready for factory processing. Once all the beets have been consolidated, the remaining tasks are performed at the processing plant. The sugar beets in the consolidation area are moved on a conveyor belt to an automatic washing system. Here, strong water jets directly spray the beets, combined with rotating drums and conveyors, helping to remove dirt, rocks, and other impurities from the surface. Next is the slicing stage, an important step in the processing. Modern slicing machines with sharp blades cut the beets into thin strips called cassettes. These strips have a greater surface area, facilitating the sugar extraction process. The cassettes are then placed in large extraction tanks, where water heated to about 70 degrees Celsius circulates to dissolve the natural sucrose in the beets. The result is a raw juice with a high sugar content that is collected and moved to the refining stage. This raw juice, while rich in sucrose, still contains impurities. Therefore, it is treated in large filtration tanks by adding lime milk and carbon dioxide. These substances react with the impurities, forming insoluble sediment, which is then removed through high-pressure filtration. The result is a clearer sugar solution, but it still requires further processing to achieve the highest purity. This solution is transferred to an evaporation tower, where excess water is removed, increasing the sugar concentration. Evaporation towers often use vacuum technology to reduce the boiling temperature and protect the quality of the sugar. Once the solution reaches a certain concentration, it is moved to a crystallizer. Here, small seed crystals are added to help the sugar crystallize and grow into the desired crystal size. After crystallization, the sugar crystals are still coated with a layer of molasses, giving them a golden hue. They are placed in a centrifuge, where they are spun at high speeds to separate the molasses from the sugar crystals. The molasses is often used as a raw material for other products, while the sugar crystals proceed to the drying stage. Drying equipment uses hot air to dry the sugar, ensuring each crystal meets standards for moisture content and purity. Once the sugar is dry, it is moved to an automatic packaging system, ready to move to the Nutella factory. To ensure the trees are not damaged. Inside the pods are the precious cocoa seeds, often referred to as beans. After harvesting, the seeds are scooped out and undergo a critical fermentation process. This step lasts several days and is essential for developing the complex flavor profile of the cocoa. Fermentation not only reduces the bitterness, but also brings out the deep, earthy notes that make chocolate so captivating. Once fermented, the seeds are spread out under the sun to dry, a step that takes several more days and requires careful monitoring to prevent mold or uneven drying. The dried seeds are then roasted, a process that fills the air with the unmistakable aroma of chocolate. Roasting further enhances the flavor and makes it easier to remove the outer shell, revealing the inner cocoa nibs. The beans are then lightly crushed and passed through a sieving machine to separate the shells from the cocoa nibs, ensuring only high-quality nibs are retained. These nibs are ground into a thick, paste-like substance called chocolate liquor. Despite its name, chocolate liquor contains no alcohol. It's simply the pure, unadulterated essence of chocolate. To produce cocoa powder, the chocolate liquor is pressed to separate the rich cocoa butter. What remains after pressing is a solid cake of cocoa, which is finely ground into the silky cocoa powder we know and love. This powder, with its intense chocolate flavor and low-fat content, plays a vital role in Nutella, not just for its taste, but also for its smooth, creamy texture. Palm oil makes up about 20% of Nutella's formula, playing a crucial role in creating its signature smooth texture and impressive shelf life. The journey of palm oil begins with the careful harvesting of ripe, vibrant red palm fruits from oil palm trees, which are primarily grown in tropical regions with climates ideal for their growth. After harvesting, the palm fruits are transported by truck to the processing plant, where they are prepared for oil extraction. The fruits are then steamed in large sterilizers to soften the flesh, making the oil extraction process more efficient. The softened fruits are pressed using mechanical presses to extract crude palm oil, a thick, reddish-orange liquid rich in natural nutrients. The red liquid is filtered to remove any solid particles, ensuring a smooth and clean texture. Next, the oil undergoes heat treatments to neutralize its strong flavor and eliminate any residual odors. The final product is pure, stable palm oil, perfectly suited for Nutella's creamy consistency and long-lasting quality. Skim milk powder makes up about 5% of Nutella, adding a smooth creaminess to the product. The production process of skim milk powder for Nutella starts with fresh milk collected from farms. On large dairy farms, they use modern milking systems. Cows are led onto a rotating platform, and each cow stands in its own compartment. As a cow steps onto the platform, the system automatically identifies each cow using electronic devices. Before milking begins, the cow's udders are cleaned and disinfected. Once the udders are clean, automatic milking cups are attached. The milk is transported through pipes and flows directly into a storage tank. After milking is completed, the cups are automatically removed. Once the milking is done, the cows are automatically led off the platform to exit. After the cow's milk is harvested, they are then transported to the factory to be made into powdered milk. The milk is skimmed using a centrifuge to remove the cream, leaving behind the lean milk. The skimmed milk is then pasteurized and sent to a spray drying chamber, where it is sprayed into fine droplets in a stream of hot air. This process evaporates the water, leaving behind dry milk powder. The powder is cooled and carefully packaged, ready to be used in Nutella. Once all the ingredients are prepared, they are sent to the mixing area to begin the magical process of making Nutella. The hazelnuts are first put into a mill and will yield finely ground hazelnut paste. The journey starts with a blend of hazelnut paste and cocoa powder loaded into industrial mixers. These powerful machines mix the ingredients vigorously to achieve a smooth, uniform base. Next, sugar and skimmed milk powder are added gradually, with the mixers running continuously to ensure perfect integration. Palm oil is then introduced, giving Nutella its signature soft and spreadable texture. Finally, natural flavors are added at the last stage, completing Nutella's irresistible flavor profile. The blended mixture is passed through filters to remove any particles or impurities. This ensures Nutella achieves its silky smooth consistency without any lumps or residues. The final product is transferred to fully automated filling machines, where precision nozzles dispense the perfect amount of Nutella into glass or plastic jars. The jars then move to sealing machines that securely fasten the lids, preventing air from entering and maintaining freshness and flavor. Once sealed, the jars are labeled by automated systems, ensuring each label is perfectly aligned. Finally, the robotic arm will pick up the jars into boxes with fixed specifications, ready to be shipped to consumers. The production process of Nutella is not just a testament to modern technology, but also a perfect harmony of high-quality ingredients and advanced techniques. Every jar of Nutella that reaches consumers embodies meticulous attention to detail and refinement in every step of the process. So you've made it with me to the end of the video. You've explored the entire journey of how Nutella, the premium chocolate hazelnut spread, is made. Were you impressed by the incredible technology involved? If so, don't forget to give this video a like and hit that subscribe button for more fascinating content. If mozzarella is as soft as a flowing stream and cheddar as rich as melting fat, then Parmesan stands like a crystal of time, solid, profound, and enduring. To craft a single 40-kilogram wheel of Parmesan, it takes more than 500 liters of fresh milk and at least 1 year of silent aging, under strict control from ingredients to temperature. Parmesan crumbles in the mouth, releasing its signature burst of rich umami, packed with protein, calcium, and naturally almost free of lactose. So concentrated that just a small amount provides as much protein as a full glass of milk and more calcium than a slice of lean beef. Parmesan is not just cheese. It is milk, time, and the essence of nature, compressed into every small golden shard. Few people know that in the Emilia-Romagna region, certified wheels of Parmesan are even used as collateral for bank loans, treated like real gold. A single wheel can be worth thousands of euros, and its value only grows with time. Among the thousands of cheeses in the world, only Parmesan holds the prestige to be considered a financial asset. So if you could choose just one, would it be Parmesan, cheddar, or mozzarella? In the early mornings across Emilia-Romagna, as the sunlight gently touches the endless green fields, farmers begin harvesting fresh grass, a nutrient-rich source of feed prepared daily for their cows. At the same time, the cows roam freely across natural pastures, leisurely grazing and enjoying a life of freedom, peace, and comfort. This careful care and ideal living environment are what lay the foundation for producing pure, fresh milk. The very beginning of the journey to create the legendary Parmesan wheels. At the farm, the cows live in a comfortable, clean, and safe environment. They rest in spacious barns, equipped with automatic misting systems to help cool them down during the summer heat. Many farms even install rotating massage brushes, allowing cows to walk up and enjoy a good scratch and muscle relaxation after long hours of grazing. The cows are also bathed regularly to keep their skin clean, lower their body temperature, and prevent skin diseases. Each animal follows a routine health check schedule, from monitoring body temperature and nutrition to testing milk quality, all to ensure the cows remain healthy, comfortable, and content. A key moment in the farming cycle is when a cow gives birth to a calf after about 9 months of pregnancy. The newborn calf is cared for separately and fed colostrum in the first few days to build natural immunity through vital antibodies. After the calf has finished nursing, the mother cow enters a regular milking cycle, twice a day. Before milking, the udder is washed with warm water to remove dirt, stimulate natural milk flow, and quickly inspect each teat for early signs of issues such as swelling, inflammation, or discoloration, the first indicators of mastitis. A healthy cow typically produces around 25 to 30 liters of milk per day, although output can vary depending on weather conditions, diet, and the postpartum stage. If milking is delayed or performed incorrectly, cows can experience painful udder engorgement, leading to stress and a significant drop in milk yield. Meanwhile, after about 2 to 3 months, calves are weaned and separated from their mothers. Healthy female calves continue to be raised to become the next generation of dairy cows. In contrast, male calves, or those that do not meet breeding standards, are typically sent to slaughterhouses, where their young stomachs are collected to produce natural rennet, an essential enzyme used in the traditional milk coagulation process for making authentic Parmesan cheese. Returning to the stream of fresh milk from the mother cows, the first precious ingredient in the journey to create legendary Parmesan. The moment the milk is drawn, it immediately enters a race against temperature and bacteria. Fresh milk is extremely sensitive. Within just a few hours at room temperature, bacteria begin to multiply rapidly, altering its quality, flavor, and nutritional value. To prevent this, farms use rapid cooling systems. Once collected, the milk is channeled directly into sealed stainless steel tanks and quickly cooled to around 4 degrees Celsius, the ideal temperature to preserve its natural enzymes, freshness, and rich nutritional content. And now, let's move on to the most anticipated part, where streams of fresh milk begin their magical transformation into the legendary wheels of Parmesan. As soon as the milk arrives at the dairy, it is directed straight into massive copper vats, timeless symbols of the Parmesan craft, because copper conducts heat quickly and evenly, allowing for absolute temperature control, a critical factor in ensuring the proper structure and quality of the Parmesan curd, and gently heated to around 33 to 35 degrees Celsius. This is the golden temperature, precisely calculated to trigger natural coagulation while preserving the milk's precious microbial structure. Next, the cheesemaker adds chymosin, the only enzyme permitted under traditional methods, extracted from the stomach of a young calf. This enzyme causes the proteins in the milk to bind together, forming a smooth, dense curd, the foundation of Parmesan's firm and distinctive texture. At this stage, precision is everything. With Parmesan, even a 1-minute delay or a slight deviation in temperature is enough to ruin the entire batch, and the whole vat must be discarded. By strict standards, each vat produces exactly 2 wheels of Parmesan, with the enzyme stirring time tightly controlled between 10 and 12 minutes, all within an obsessively narrow temperature range. After the chymosin enzyme is added and gently stirred in, the milk begins to coagulate into a soft curd. At this stage, the cheesemaker uses a spino, a traditional wire tool, to cut the curd into uniform, rice-sized granules. Proper cutting helps separate the whey more efficiently and allows control over the cheese's moisture content from the start, a key factor in determining its firmness and aging potential. The cutting and heating process continues inside an inverted copper vat. This conical design allows the whey to settle at the bottom, while the curd granules sink and form a compact mass, easy to collect without mechanical pressing. This method preserves the curd's integrity, keeping it firm and consistent, as required by Parmigiano-Reggiano standards. From each batch, about 300 to 350 liters of whey can be recovered. None of it goes to waste. It is reheated and used to produce ricotta, a fresh cheese commonly used in Italian cooking. In this way, nearly every nutrient in the milk is fully utilized. As most of the whey separates and settles, the curd begins to sink to the bottom of the vat, still submerged in warm whey. At this point, the cheesemaker quickly slips their hands into the liquid, gathering the entire curd mass into a large linen cloth and lifting it carefully to preserve its delicate structure. Without delay, the curd is cut in half and placed into stainless steel molds, marking the first step in shaping Parmesan's iconic form. Can you guess? At this stage, each fresh wheel weighs nearly 100 kilograms and will eventually shrink to around 38 to 40 kilograms after months of aging. During the first 24 hours, the cheese is still very soft and prone to deformation, so every step, from wrapping, molding to pressing, must be performed swiftly and with absolute precision. After the cheese wheel is shaped and begins to stabilize in the mold, the cheesemaker performs a step that may seem small but is absolutely critical: imprinting the identity onto each wheel. This step determines whether a Parmesan wheel can be officially recognized and sold around the world. Interestingly, no modern printing or laser technology is used here. Instead, cheesemakers wrap a soft plastic belt, pre-embossed with details such as the dairy's registration number, production area code, and production date, tightly around the mold. Over the next few hours, under natural pressure, the outer rind of the cheese will memorize all this information, creating a permanent, raised mark on its surface. Without the need for labels or ink, just one glance reveals the wheel's full traceability, and the mark can never be erased or forged. After being imprinted with its identifying marks, each wheel of Parmesan is transferred into a concentrated brine bath, an essential first step in developing its final flavor and texture. The wheels are soaked for 18 to 20 days, during which they are turned regularly to ensure that the salt penetrates deeply and evenly from all sides, helping to form a natural rind and a dense, resilient interior. An interesting detail is that the brine is not replaced after every batch. Instead, it is continuously reused, with strict regular monitoring of salinity and hygiene levels. Over time, this aging brine develops a unique microflora, subtly contributing to the distinctive character that sets Parmesan apart. After completing the brining process, the Parmesan wheels are carefully sorted based on their production date and the identification codes embossed on their rind. From there, they enter the aging phase, stored in special warehouses where temperature, humidity, and airflow are controlled with near-perfect precision. The aging period lasts at least 12 months and can extend to 24 or even 36 months for premium wheels. To maintain quality throughout the aging process, each wheel is regularly turned, cleaned, and brushed using specialized machines. This not only allows the rind to dry and harden naturally, but also prevents mold buildup and protects the interior, like a routine maintenance schedule for every wheel. When the aging period ends, certified inspectors from the consortium assess each wheel. If it passes all quality checks, it is fire-branded with a red-hot stamp bearing the Parmigiano-Reggiano name and DOP code. This fire mark is the final seal. a permanent symbol of authenticity and excellence that cannot be forged. Before being cut and packaged, each wheel of Parmesan passes through a specialized polishing machine. This machine uses high-speed rotating brushes to gently scrub the outer rind. After aging is complete, whole Parmesan wheels are moved into a specialized cutting chamber, where stainless steel blades are precisely designed to split each wheel in half without damaging the internal structure. Each half is then drilled with a small hole using a specialized tool to check the cheese's hardness, aroma, and internal consistency, key factors that determine its final quality. If the wheel meets all standards, it is further divided into blocks of 1 to 5 kilograms, or shredded or thinly sliced depending on market demand. Each piece is precisely weighed and labeled with full product information: production date, DOP region code, aging period, and traceability number. It is then vacuum sealed using modern air extraction machines to preserve freshness without the need for preservatives. Finally, the Parmesan packages go through a final check using weight sensors and X-ray scanners before being boxed, barcoded, and moved to cold storage, ready for distribution worldwide. So from now on, every time you enjoy a rich slice of Parmesan, you'll surely remember the incredible journey behind those golden wheels of cheese. If you found this video interesting and helpful, don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and leave a comment to support our work. And remember, we still have many more special journeys ahead, where agricultural secrets, food technology, and amazing stories are waiting to be discovered. Behind every delicious sausage is a journey that begins with little pink piglets growing up on happy farms. But why is that? Here's an interesting fact. Happy pigs produce better quality meat, leading to the finest sausages. That's why many farms go the extra mile to ensure their four-legged VIPs live a luxurious life. Think of it as a 5-star hotel for pigs. They enjoy clean, spacious barns, refreshing baths every day, well-balanced meals, and even get to relax while listening to Mozart. And believe it or not, after about 180 spa sessions, these once tiny piglets, weighing just over 1 kilogram, grow into massive giants, tipping the scales at 110 to 130 kilograms. To sustain the breed, only the most elite pigs are carefully selected to participate in the modern breeding process. With the help of technology, from selective breeding to artificial insemination, a new generation of strong, healthy piglets is born. When the golden moment arrives, the pigs are ready to leave the farm and move on to their next destination, the processing plant, where their journey takes a new turn. Before hitting the road, pigs are given a light fasting period of about 12 to 24 hours, not to lose weight, but to ensure a smoother journey. Modern livestock trucks are also well designed, featuring multiple levels and partitioned sections to prevent overcrowding and jostling. Plus, they come equipped with ventilation and automatic temperature control systems, ensuring a cool, stress-free ride for their four-legged passengers. Everything is carefully arranged to transport happy pigs to the processing plant, where they'll soon take part in a little culinary magic, transforming into delicious sausages. After a long journey, the pigs finally arrive at the processing plant. The first and most crucial step is to let them rest in a clean, well-ventilated area equipped with mist sprayers and air circulation systems. This helps reduce stress, stabilize their heart rate, and minimize the release of stress hormones, ultimately improving meat quality. Before slaughter, pigs must be stunned to ensure a humane and painless process. Two common methods are used: CO2 gas stunning and electrical stunning. Among these, CO2 stunning is more widely adopted in modern plants. For CO2 stunning, pigs are placed inside a sealed chamber where carbon dioxide is pumped in at a concentration of 80 to 90%. Within 10 to 30 seconds, they lose consciousness. In smaller processing facilities, especially in China, the process may differ slightly. The pigs are taken directly into the bleeding machine. Then the process will look like this. Have you ever been to a slaughterhouse? Share your experience in the comments below. Once fully unconscious, the pigs are transferred via conveyor belts to the bleeding area. After the cut is made, pigs are hung upside down for 3 to 5 minutes, ensuring that most of the blood is removed efficiently. Once bleeding is complete, the pigs move to the deherring stage. First, they are dipped in hot water, 136 to 144 degrees, for 4 to 6 minutes. This opens up hair follicles, making the hair easier to remove. Next, the pigs enter an automatic deherring machine, where rotating rollers with soft rubber blades rub against the body, stripping away hair as the pigs tumble through the system. To remove any remaining fine hairs, the carcasses pass through a scalding flame, which also sterilizes the skin, ensuring cleanliness before the next stage. Next, the pigs go through the evisceration process, where internal organs are removed. In automated facilities, robotic arms equipped with razor-sharp circular blades make a precise incision along the pig's abdomen. A mechanical clamp system then gently extracts the entire set of internal organs without rupturing the intestines, ensuring the highest hygiene standards. At this stage, only the meat remains, and the pigs are split in half using high-powered cutting machines before moving along the conveyor belt. Automated saws equipped with laser-guided blades make ultra-precise cuts, separating lean meat, fat, and bones with remarkable accuracy. These high-speed machines can process hundreds of pigs per hour, delivering uniform cuts while minimizing waste. After a thorough quality inspection, the finest meat cuts are transferred to cold storage at temperatures between 0.4 degrees Fahrenheit to -7.6 degrees to preserve freshness until further processing. And now the real culinary magic begins. Watch as fresh, premium cuts of meat transform into irresistibly juicy, mouth-watering sausages. The leanest and most cohesive cuts of pork are carefully selected, along with hand-trimmed pork fat, to prepare for the sausage-making process. The pork fat is also manually filtered and added to the mixture to balance the fat ratio, ensuring the sausages remain tender, juicy, and packed with flavor when cooked. After trimming, the meat is fed into a high-capacity industrial grinder that can process up to 2 tons of pork per hour. This machine rapidly grinds the meat while maintaining its texture and freshness. First, the meat goes through a coarse grinding stage, where razor-sharp stainless steel blades chop it into evenly sized pieces before moving to the next step. Then, the meat is further refined in a high-speed grinder, spinning at 3,000 to 5,000 RPM, creating a smoother and more elastic consistency. At this stage, the hand-trimmed pork fat is added, enhancing the sausage's rich, juicy texture. The finely ground meat mixture is lightly chilled to maintain freshness before being transferred into a vacuum mixer, a crucial piece of equipment that evenly blends ingredients while preserving texture and quality. Inside the machine, high-speed paddles knead and press the mixture, ensuring the seasoning deeply infuses every fiber of the meat. Spices such as salt, pepper, sugar, emulsifiers to enhance binding, preservatives to extend shelf life, and natural flavor enhancers, including the hand-selected pork fat, are added, creating the distinctive taste of each sausage. Egg yolks play a crucial role in increasing the richness and binding capacity of the mixture. The eggs are processed through an automatic egg-breaking machine, where the shells are cracked and the yolks are separated from the whites using a centrifugal system. Only yolks that meet strict standards for consistency, color, and freshness are selected and automatically injected into the meat mixture. The vacuum mixer can process anywhere from hundreds of kilograms to several tons of mixture per hour, depending on production scale. Thanks to this technology, the meat mixture achieves an ultra-smooth texture and perfect binding, ensuring that the sausages maintain their uniform consistency after processing. Once all ingredients are thoroughly blended, the mixture is ready for casing. Sausage casings come in two main types: natural casings made from animal intestines and artificial casings made from collagen or cellulose. Once prepared, the casings are fed into a sausage stuffing machine, where the meat mixture is pumped in under stable pressure to prevent air pockets and ensure the sausages have an even, firm texture. Next, an automated twisting machine precisely divides the sausages into equal portions by twisting the casings at fixed intervals, creating uniform and compact sausages. For some handcrafted or premium sausage lines, the process relies on the expertise and skilled hands of experienced butchers, turning each batch of sausages into a true culinary masterpiece. They use traditional hand-twisting techniques, precisely measuring each section to ensure the perfect firmness without tearing the casing. This method allows for greater flexibility in size, which is especially important for fresh or traditionally made sausages. Sausages can be cooked using either steaming or smoking, depending on the product type. For smoked sausages, they are hung on stainless steel or wooden racks and placed inside a smoking chamber, where natural wood smoke, often from oak or hardwood sawdust, is generated at 122 to 167 degrees. This process enhances their deep color and imparts a signature smoky aroma. Can you already smell the rich, savory aroma of freshly made sausages filling the air? After cooking, the sausages must be quickly cooled to stabilize their structure. This is typically done using cold water baths or mist cooling systems to rapidly lower their temperature. Next, they are transferred to an air drying chamber, where cool air removes excess moisture, improving texture and extending shelf life. After inspection, the sausages move along a modern production line to the packaging area. Here, robots efficiently arrange the sausages into boxes at a speed of 220 packs per minute, ensuring precision and consistency. Finally, the packaged products are stored in cold storage at 19 degrees Celsius and transported using a specialized cold chain distribution system at 2 to 4 degrees Celsius to supermarkets, grocery stores, or exported to over 50 international markets.
In the fast food kingdom, the hamburger reigns supreme, wearing a crown of rich, melted cheese and ruling over the entire fast food empire. In the United States alone, the birthplace of the ultimate meaty burger, more than 50 billion burgers are consumed annually, making this dish an irreplaceable culinary icon. On the fast food battlefield, giants like McDonald's, Burger King, and Wendy's dominate the global market. McDonald's alone serves nearly 70 million customers every day, and every single second, they churn out approximately 75 hamburgers for hungry customers worldwide. But to keep the hamburger empire running, high-quality ingredients and top-notch recipes aren't enough. Behind the scenes, an army of industrial machines ensures that every bun, patty, and drop of sauce is made with absolute precision. The process of making hamburgers in a factory is like a technological masterpiece, where every step is meticulously designed to create the perfect, mouth-watering burger. Everything begins with basic ingredients like flour, yeast, water, sugar, salt, butter, and eggs, which are fed into a giant industrial mixing machine. This advanced machine is equipped with dual spiral kneading blades that ensure the ingredients are evenly mixed, creating a well-balanced dough. It's like having a master chef adjusting every knead to craft a perfectly textured dough. Initially, the mixer runs at a low speed, allowing the flour to absorb water gradually, activating the yeast and developing gluten. As the gluten strengthens, the dough becomes more elastic and smooth. The kneading speed then increases to achieve a consistent texture, ensuring that the final buns are soft and fluffy, not too dense or too dry. After mixing, the dough is transferred to large trays and moved into a temperature-controlled proofing chamber. The system maintains a temperature of 30 to 35 degrees Celsius and a humidity level of 70%, creating the ideal environment for yeast activation. Once the dough has risen to the desired level, it moves to an automated dough cutting system. This machine precisely divides the large dough mass into smaller, equal portions, ensuring uniform bun sizes. The dough pieces are then passed through a shaping machine, where rolling drums and gentle pressure mold them into perfectly round buns. If the buns require toppings like sesame seeds or grains, an automated spraying system evenly sprinkles them onto each bun. Finally, the shaped dough is transferred to the baking conveyor, ready for the final stage. The dough balls are then sent into an industrial conveyor oven, using convection heat technology to bake at a controlled temperature of 200 degrees Celsius for 10 to 15 minutes. Once baked to golden perfection, the buns pass through a cooling system with strong air circulation, ensuring they remain crispy on the outside, yet soft inside. After cooling, automated laser-guided slicing machines cut the buns into 2 equal halves. The sliced buns continue along the conveyor belt, heading to the assembly line. A hamburger wouldn't be complete without its juicy beef patty. The patty production process starts with a careful selection of meat cuts to ensure quality. Large slabs of meat are sliced into smaller portions and placed onto a conveyor system, which feeds them into an industrial meat grinder. This high-powered machine grinds the meat into a fine, consistent texture. Next, the ground meat is moved to a seasoning mixer, where spinning paddles thoroughly blend it with ingredients like salt, pepper, garlic powder, and other secret spices. This step ensures even distribution of flavor before the meat is shaped into patties. Once the meat mixture is ready, it enters an automated patty shaping machine. Using air compression technology, the machine forms the ground meat into uniform, circular patties with precise thickness and weight. Equipped with weight sensors, the machine ensures that each patty meets strict size requirements, guaranteeing a consistent product before moving on to the next step. Patties are immediately transferred to a blast-chilling freezing system, where freezing air at -35°C to -40°C rapidly lowers the temperature. This process locks in moisture, preserves texture, and prevents bacterial growth. Once cooled, the patties are stored at 18°C to maintain freshness before packaging or final assembly. With the buns and patties ready, they can either be packaged separately and sent to fast food restaurants or assembled into full burgers in the factory. At fast food chains, burgers are heated up and served fresh when ordered. They are often paired with fries, soft drinks, or salads, creating a complete and satisfying meal. For premium burgers, bacon, pickles, or specialty sauces might be added for extra flavor. Before potatoes can become fries, they need a good scrub. Freshly harvested potatoes arrive at the factory covered in dirt because, well, they grow underground. They go through a powerful washing system where jets of water blast away soil and debris. Next up, steam peeling. Imagine getting a facial, but way more intense. The potatoes are exposed to high-pressure steam, which loosens their skins. Then, a set of mechanical rollers gently rub off the peels, leaving behind smooth, clean potatoes ready for the next step. Now it's time for the real transformation. The peeled potatoes are sent through high-speed cutting machines equipped with razor-sharp blades. These machines can slice thousands of potatoes per hour, ensuring they all have that signature French fry shape. Depending on the brand and style, the fries can be thin, thick, crinkle-cut, or even curly. Ever noticed how French fries always have that perfect golden hue? That's thanks to blanching. The freshly cut fries take a quick dip in hot water to remove excess sugars and starch, preventing them from turning too dark when fried. After their warm bath, they go through a drying tunnel to remove surface moisture. Now, for the most crucial step, frying. The fries take a plunge into hot oil for just a few seconds, enough to partially cook them and give them a slight crunch. But they're not ready to eat just yet. Immediately after frying, they're flash frozen at super low temperatures. This locks in their texture and flavor, ensuring they remain crispy when finally cooked to perfection at your favorite fast food joint. Once frozen, the fries are sorted, inspected, because nobody wants a weird-looking fry, and packaged into those familiar bags you see in grocery stores and restaurants. From there, they're shipped out, ready to fulfill their destiny, making people happy.
Let's dive in. Beneath the smooth layer of frosting lies a mesmerizing world of flavors. From the romantic allure of red velvet to the rich, creamy indulgence of cheesecake, every bite is a love letter to dessert lovers. Each country adds its own unique twist, turning the world of cakes into a borderless feast of sweetness. So, how many destinations have you traveled to in this vast cake universe? Drop a comment below and share your favorite flavor. You might just find a fellow sweet tooth soulmate. Thanks to modern automated production lines that can churn out 10,000 cakes per hour, the industry has taken a giant leap from the days of wood-fired ovens and coal stoves. It's a perfect symphony of technology, creativity, and an undying passion for life's sweetest pleasures. Every delicious cake begins with a seemingly simple yet crucial process: separating eggs. In modern factories, high-speed egg-separating machines work tirelessly, processing up to 200,000 eggs per hour. So fast that if eggs had emotions, they wouldn't even have time to say goodbye to each other. On the conveyor belt, thousands of eggs roll smoothly toward the mechanical shell remover. In the blink of an eye, their hard shells are neatly peeled away, as effortlessly as unzipping a jacket. The golden yolks drop into collection trays below, ready for the next stage of their journey. In smaller-scale factories, skilled workers still separate eggs by hand, treating each one with precision, like artisans carefully shaping the fate of every drop. This ensures the highest quality for special batches of cakes. Now that the eggs are ready, it's time for the other ingredients to join the symphony. First up is flour, the soul of the cake, handled with great care. Through rhythmic vibrations, tiny flour particles gently fall, becoming soft, airy, and free from clumps or unwanted impurities. This ensures the flour not only remains smooth, but also contributes to a perfect cake texture once baked. While the flour is being sifted, the eggs begin their transformation. Inside a massive mixing machine, fresh golden egg yolks blend seamlessly with pure white sugar. The mixing arms rotate, fusing the two ingredients into a smooth, thick, golden mixture, almost like a luscious cream. They patiently await the arrival of their key companion, finely sifted flour. Then comes the moment of unison. The sifted flour is gradually added to the egg sugar mixture, followed by velvety butter, rich milk, and a touch of water for binding. Each factory has its own secret formula, giving each batch of cake a unique signature. Some manufacturers even add natural colors, dressing cakes in delightful hues, warm golden tones, delicate peachy pinks, or cool pastel blues. All ready for the next artistic stage of blending. The batter is now poured into an automatic piston filling machine. On the conveyor belt, an army of cake molds stands ready, each lined with non-stick parchment paper, like a knight's armor for battle. The automated filling system quickly portions out the batter, ensuring perfect and uniform distribution. Once the molds are filled, they are lined up neatly and sent into the oven gate, where the magic truly happens. Inside, state-of-the-art multi-level ovens work at full capacity, maintaining an ideal temperature of 107 to 180 degrees Celsius for about 20 minutes. As the temperature rises, the cake batter gradually firms up, proteins restructure, and air bubbles expand, turning the mixture into fluffy, cloud-like perfection. Can you smell that? The irresistible aroma of freshly baked cakes fills the air, an invitation to a heavenly dessert experience. But wait, a cake isn't truly a cake without its smooth, creamy frosting, right? There are many ways to make cake frosting, and each factory has its own secret. However, whipping cream remains the most common base ingredient. To create the perfect frosting, heavy cream is blended with sugar and whipped inside giant industrial mixers until it reaches a fluffy, cloud-like consistency. The cream mixers ensure a silky smooth texture while maintaining precise temperature control to keep the frosting stable before the decoration process begins. Back to the cooled sponge cakes, now lined up on the conveyor belt, heading toward the automatic slicing system. Ultra-sharp saw blades cut through each cake with millimeter precision, dividing them into uniform layers. Each slice is as delicate as a fine sheet of fabric, ready to embrace the sweet fillings within. As the cake slices continue their journey, they enter the decorating zone, where an automated syrup dispenser gently drizzles a thin, even layer over the surface. This helps retain moisture and enhances the cake's flavor. Immediately afterward, the automatic filling machine evenly spreads silky frosting or flavorful fruit jam between each layer. Mechanical arms move in rhythmic precision, ensuring the filling is perfectly distributed for a harmonious taste in every bite. Once syrup and fillings are applied, the cake slices move forward on the conveyor belt into the automatic stacking system. conveyor rollers and belts guide each slice into its proper position. Alignment sensors ensure the layers are stacked neatly, maintaining a symmetrical and flawless cake structure. With each layer added, the system momentarily pauses to secure proper placement before continuing. Now comes the most exciting part: decorating. Here, automated cake decorating machines take on the role of skilled pastry chefs, dressing each cake in its most glamorous outfit. The first step is performed by the automatic icing machine, which spreads an even, velvety layer of frosting over the entire cake. Every edge and corner is smoothed to perfection, ensuring a flawless base, silky, even, and ripple-free. Right after that, the automatic piping system steps in like a master designer, carefully crafting intricate patterns and elegant swirls, turning each cake into a work of edible art. Every precise movement, every delicate flourish, mirrors the expertise of a seasoned pastry artist, creating a visual masterpiece. Some cakes even get an extra touch of magic with advanced food-grade printing technology. This allows edible ink made from natural food coloring to bring images to life on the cake's surface. Within seconds, stunning designs appear, making every cake a personalized masterpiece. Before reaching eager dessert lovers, each cake undergoes a meticulous packaging process. On the conveyor belt, cake boxes line up, ready to house these edible works of art. At the final stage of the production line, factory workers carefully place each cake into its packaging, ensuring that the delicate frosting remains intact. Depending on demand, cakes may be packed whole or pre-sliced into individual portions before being neatly arranged in storage, awaiting their journey to satisfy sweet cravings. This entire process, powered by modern automated cake production, is a seamless blend of precision, efficiency, and artistry. Each cake is a testament to how technology and craftsmanship come together to create the perfect harmony of taste and beauty in every bite. A cake is more than just a sweet dessert. It's the star of every celebration. In the West, birthday cakes symbolize good wishes, with glowing candles representing dreams waiting to come true. The French turn cakes into edible masterpieces with their delicate millefeuille, while Italians adore the rich and romantic tiramisu. In Japan, people favor airy, cloud-like sponge cakes. Whereas in Germany, the legendary Schwarzwälder Kirschtorte brings a bold fusion of chocolate and cherry liqueur. No matter where you are, cakes carry the essence of joy and togetherness. A single slice can spark a friendship, a big bite can comfort a heavy heart, and a towering wedding cake? That's the sweetest promise of all. So the next time you take a bite of cake, don't just taste the sweetness, savor the cultural journey baked into every layer. But before we dive into the magical factories, let me reveal some fascinating secrets about these golden beans and let you enjoy the picturesque harvest on the vast soybean fields. First, while Brazil, often dubbed the soybean king, accounts for 39% of global production, but across the ocean, the US proudly claims its soybeans are premium grade. Will Brazil's massive production be enough to outshine the US forever, or will superior quality rise to the top and stage an impressive comeback? Don't hesitate to drop a comment below and share your thoughts with everyone. Soybeans particularly love warm weather, thriving in temperatures between 20 to 30 degrees Celsius, with just the right amount of rainfall throughout the growing season and fertile, nutrient-rich soil. A typical soybean plant, from a tiny seed to a fully grown pod-filled plant, needs at least 80 to 120 days to complete its growth cycle, depending on the variety and environmental conditions. Every September, as the cool autumn winds begin to whisper and the golden hues start to dominate the landscape, it's also the signal for farmers that the harvest season has arrived. Under the brilliant golden sunlight, the combine harvesters appear as sophisticated machines of modern agriculture, ready to carry out their harvesting task. With their large size and sharp cutting blades, these machines move gently yet decisively through the soybean fields, causing rows of plants to bow down. The soybeans are immediately fed into the machine, where the threshing system works with precise accuracy. Specialized parts of the machine work in perfect harmony, separating the beans from their pods without compromising their quality, preserving the color and value of every single bean. With impressive capacity, each combine harvester can harvest over 45 tons of soybeans in just 1 hour. When the hopper is full, the machine's arm extends, automatically unloading the golden beans into a waiting truck. Once the work is done, the harvested soybeans are transported to modern factories, where technology takes over the next phase of processing, turning fresh raw materials into refined, valuable products. Specialized trucks enter the factory, and immediately, bins full of golden beans pour into the feeding mouth on the ground. An underground system is ready to cleanse the beans before they are stored. The beans continue their journey on a conveyor belt into the screening system. Large fans blow strong air currents, blowing away dirt and light impurities like dry husks and leaves, which are then directed to the waste outlet above. Meanwhile, heavier impurities like stones and dirt that can't be blown away are separated using a centrifugal filtration system with different mesh layers, allowing only the standard soybeans to continue their journey. After being cleaned, the soybeans move to an automatic drying system. Here, alternating hot and cold airflow passes through, allowing moisture inside the beans to evaporate without affecting the nutritional quality or structure of the beans. Finally, the highest quality beans are poured into towering silos that reach up to several dozen meters in height, with a maximum capacity of up to 50,000 tons, preparing them for the next stages of processing. First, let me take you on a tour around the tofu factory to explore how these meat-free blocks are created. The production process begins with the preparation of raw materials. Dried soybeans are fed into an automatic washing system and then soaked in large water tanks for 6 to 12 hours. This soaking process helps the beans absorb water and soften, making it easier for the next grinding step. Once the beans have reached optimal moisture content, they are fed into a grinding system. Here, the beans are ground with a certain amount of water to create a mixture of soy milk and soybean pulp. Depending on the technology used, factories may apply a dry grinding method, which requires longer soaking times, or a wet grinding method, which requires shorter soaking times. The mixture after grinding is passed through a centrifugal filtration system to separate the soybean pulp from the pure soy milk. The soy milk continues to the next processing stage, while the pulp is sent to a separate area to be used as animal feed or made into other products such as cereal or fiber-rich foods. After being properly filtered, the soy milk is pumped into an automatic heating system, where the temperature is strictly controlled between 95 degrees Celsius and 100 degrees Celsius. This boiling process not only helps eliminate bacteria and remove natural toxins in the soybeans, but also brings out the distinctive flavor of tofu. Once it reaches the required temperature, the soy milk is immediately transferred to a coagulation tank to begin the curdling process and form the tofu structure. The hot soy milk is transferred to a large container where coagulating agents like nigari salt or food-grade gypsum are added. The mixing machine stirs the solution to trigger the curdling of the protein, forming solidified clumps. For soft tofu products, the coagulation stirring process doesn't take place. Instead, the soy milk is sprayed into long bags or square boxes, then sealed and immediately placed in a cold water bath to cool. This process helps preserve the softness and loose texture of the soft tofu, while also ensuring the product stays fresh longer. After the coagulation process is complete, the curdled mixture is placed into molds to remove excess water. Here, the press applies just the right amount of pressure to compact the curds, giving the tofu a firmer texture. After being pressed, the tofu is cooled to reach the ideal temperature, which helps the product achieve better firmness and stability. During the cooling process, the tofu is passed through a cooling system, either using cold water or air. Afterward, the tofu is cut into pieces using automatic cutting blades that are gentle yet precise. Next, the tofu is immediately placed into packaging boxes through an entirely automated production line. Before sealing, a little clean water is sprayed inside the box to maintain moisture, preventing the tofu from drying out and keeping it fresh for a longer time. After packaging, the tofu products go through a sterilization process. Sterilization is carried out using heat treatment, where the tofu packages are heated to temperatures between 85 degrees Celsius and 90 degrees Celsius for a set period, then quickly cooled. Finally, after completing the production process, the tofu is stored in a warehouse at temperatures between 4 degrees Celsius and 10 degrees Celsius before being distributed to the market. For soy milk, the preparation process is similar to that of tofu production. However, during the cooking stage, flavorings such as salt and sweeteners are added and thoroughly mixed with the soy milk to ensure a consistent and stable flavor. Once the soy milk has completed the processing steps, it is transferred to automated packaging systems where it is bottled or packed into paper cartons. For bottled soy milk products, which typically have a longer shelf life than carton-packaged ones, The empty bottles are first carefully checked using a laser scanner and washed with clean water before being filled. The modern filing system uses sensor technology to accurately measure the amount of soy milk to be poured into each bottle. After filling, the bottles are sealed and proceed to the final sterilization stage. Once the sterilization process is complete, the bottles continue on a conveyor belt, passing through a system of water sprays and air blowers to quickly cool them down before being labeled by an entirely automated system. If soy milk is packaged in a carton, it will look like this. At this point, the soy milk bottles are ready to be distributed to consumers. However, the journey of the soybeans doesn't stop here. The beans continue their transformation into golden, nutrient-rich soybean oil. From the storage silos, soybeans are sent through a screening system, where gentle vibrations help remove impurities and evenly sort the beans. The beans are then dried to reduce moisture to around 8% to ensure quality. Next, they are fed into a dehulling machine, where the soybeans are compressed between two pairs of rollers. This process cracks the soybean hulls and splits the beans into smaller parts. The mixture of soybeans and hulls is then transferred to an air separation system. After dehulling, the soybeans are fed into a screw press machine. Inside the press, the soybeans are moved forward by a screw conveyor inside the pressing tube. The final product is full-fat soy meal. After being processed in the screw press, the soybean meal is transferred to a mechanical oil press. In this press, the product continues to move along the press cage, where it is compressed under pressure. The oil is extracted through the slits in the cage and collected in a container below. At the same time, the remaining oil cake, with an oil content of about 7 to 8% and a temperature range of 120 to 130 degrees Celsius, is produced. The oil cake, which contains a high level of fiber and protein, is widely used in the production of animal feed for livestock and poultry. It helps promote animal growth and improves the quality of meat, milk, and eggs. Thanks to its rich nutritional value, the oil cake becomes an essential component of the diet for many animals, contributing to optimized farming efficiency. After filtering and refining, the oil is sent for quality inspection. Here, quality indicators such as clarity, smell, acidity, and chemical composition are thoroughly checked to ensure the oil meets safety and quality standards before packaging. Compared to other oils like sunflower and olive oil, soybean oil stands out for its low cost and high smoke point, but its higher omega-6 content could lead to nutritional imbalances if consumed excessively. It is transferred to an automated packaging system. The oil is poured into bottles, cans, or flexible packaging according to the required volume. And from here, soybean oil makes its way into kitchens around the world, becoming an essential ingredient in creating delicious and nutritious dishes. From crispy fried foods to fresh, vibrant salads, soybean oil adds a distinct flavor and helps make every meal more satisfying. Pizza, once a proud symbol of Italian cuisine, was raised by America into a global icon, powering an industry worth tens of billions of dollars. Each year, the world consumes over 5 billion pizzas, and the US alone accounts for 2/3 of that number. But have you ever wondered how such a staggering amount of pizza is made? The secret lies in a highly modernized journey, from golden wheat fields to sensory testing labs that measure quality down to the millimeter. Every step, from dough mixing, tray dividing, proofing, baking, labeling to delivery, is programmed with the precision of an industrial symphony, all to produce those aromatic pizza slices or airy, fluffy croissants. Today, Agriculture Insight invites you into a world where technology meets American culinary mastery, where the humble pizza becomes a symbol of mass production and craftsmanship, the American way. Pizza, a small circle, yet a powerful symbol of the entire fast food industry. It's often called an addiction flavored with oregano and tomato sauce, capturing the hearts and stomachs of billions across the globe every single day. You can find a $5 pizza baked in a brick oven on a Naples street corner, or order a $12,000 version at a luxury restaurant in New York, topped with caviar, truffles, and gold leaf. And while a pizza can be sliced into 8 even pieces, the battle for each slice of the market is far from evenly split. For decades, Pizza Hut reigned supreme with its classic dine-in restaurants, family-friendly ambiance, and broad menu. But since 2018, Domino's flipped the script, becoming the largest pizza chain in the US by revenue, thanks to its massive automation systems and highly optimized logistics network. The race is so fierce that even McDonald's, the global fast food titan, once tried to enter the pizza market back in the 1980s. But eventually, even McDonald's had to retreat quietly, unable to keep up with Domino's. So yes, pizza is more than just food. It's a global culinary icon where creativity, technology, and business collide on a single crispy crust. Which pizza is your true love? Drop a comment below and share it with me. And right now, join me on a breathtaking journey through endless wheat fields, the very beginning of those golden, crispy crusts that make the world fall in love with pizza. In June, across the states of Kansas, the wheat capitals of the United States, endless fields turn a brilliant shade of gold under the summer sun. It's a familiar signal. Harvest season has begun. Right then, the massive combine harvesters begin to roll. Each one stands nearly 3 meters tall, stretches over 10 meters long, so massive that anyone standing beside it looks completely dwarfed by the steel giant. Small in size perhaps, but still in full command of the entire harvest. At the front, a sharp cutting blade glides just above the ground, neatly drawing whole stalks into the machine. The leftover straw is returned to the field like a natural mulch, while the clean kernels are collected into an onboard storage tank. Each modern harvester can collect over 90 tons of wheat per hour, an astonishing figure, equal to the labor of hundreds of workers operating non-stop, leaving behind the bulky, complicated machines of the past that once dominated the fields. These days, farmers no longer have to bend over with sickles to harvest each stalk by hand. But that doesn't mean they have it easy. The fields today are more expansive than ever, stretching endlessly to the horizon, so vast that even a bird in flight might never reach the end. To make it more challenging, harvesting can only happen in the early morning or late afternoon, when moisture levels are just right to avoid cracked or damaged grains. That's why lunch often means a cold meal eaten in a hurry under the shade of a harvester, chewing between rows, eyes still watching the field bathed in golden light. Out here, every minute counts, and true rest becomes a rare luxury during harvest season. Then it's right back to the harvest. Grain tank is full, the wheat is unloaded directly into large trucks driving alongside the field, or a specialized truck drives alongside the harvester, receiving a steady stream of wheat pouring from the unloading pipe, all happening seamlessly, without the machine stopping for even a second. This synchronized and precise process helps optimize time, maintain ideal freshness and dryness, and preserve the grain's quality, minimizing post-harvest losses to the greatest extent. After being harvested from vast wheat fields, the grain is transported to a grain storage facility. Here, the wheat is unloaded into underground receiving pits. These are steel-reinforced pits, built directly beneath the receiving area of the facility. From these pits, the wheat is moved by conveyor belts or bucket elevators into large silos, towering cylindrical storage tanks made of steel or concrete. Inside the silos, the wheat is stored under strictly controlled conditions for humidity, temperature, and ventilation. Inside these seemingly empty metal ducts, tons of wheat grains are silently moving, weaving through every bend and corner, making their way to specific areas such as cleaning machines and moisture conditioning units within the factory. After being thoroughly cleaned and resting inside massive silos, wheat begins its next journey, heading to the flour mill. But instead of walking or hopping on a train, the wheat slides through enclosed pipes and industrial chutes. At the end of the slide, tons of golden wheat grains come rushing down into enormous trucks, each capable of carrying 25 to 30 tons, roughly the weight of 5 full-grown elephants. But don't think they can just hit the road right away. Before leaving the site, each truck must pass through an electronic weigh station, ensuring the load is within legal limits and recording the exact weight down to the last kilogram. This strict monitoring isn't just about avoiding overloaded trucks. It's also essential for inventory management and traceability. In the food processing industry, every grain of wheat must have its own identity papers. Inside the flour mill, after undergoing initial cleaning, the wheat grains are passed through an additional round of screening, this time much more meticulous. From the screening section, the grains are sent to a central distribution hopper system, where automated valves precisely control the flow of wheat into the next stages of processing. However, before they can be milled, the grains must go through large tempering tanks. The wheat is lightly moistened and left to rest for 12 to 24 hours. This softens the outer bran layer, making it easier to separate during milling. Next comes what's often referred to as the heart of the factory, a long line of modern roller mills. In modern factories, a single production line can include 20 to 40 machines like this, each responsible for a different stage of grinding, from coarse to intermediate to fine milling. This setup maximizes both efficiency and flour quality, especially for specialty flours like pizza flour. Each pair of steel rollers spins steadily, crushing the wheat kernels and gently separating the bran, the germ, and the bright white endosperm inside. It's this endosperm, rich in starch and protein, that becomes the smooth white flour, the very foundation of a perfect pizza crust. After milling, the flour isn't ready for packaging just yet. You think those machines bouncing up and down like they've had one too many espressos? They're not dancing for fun. They're plan sifters, the unsung heroes making sure your pizza flour is smoother than your best pickup line. A large rectangular machine suspended by flexible rods, containing multiple layers of fine mesh screens. The machine gently vibrates, allowing the flour to be sorted by size with micron-level precision. Flour that meets the standard moves forward, while coarser particles are sent back for regrinding. This is the final and most critical sifting stage, ensuring pizza flour comes out consistently fine and high quality. Because with pizza, even the tiniest inconsistency can throw off the perfect crust. Next, the fine flour is transported through a high-pressure pneumatic system. Think of it as a high-speed expressway just for flour. It's carried to a cyclone separator, where centrifugal force separates the flour from the airstream, allowing for clean, dust-free, and lossless recovery. And those tangled stainless steel pipes that look like a maze? They're part of the system that delivers flour to the blending station. Here, the fine flour is given its final adjustments. Depending on the end product, enzymes, malt flour, or B vitamins may be added. Finally, after passing the last quality check for fineness and fluffiness, the flour is sent to the automated packing area. Here, every stream of fine flour is precisely weighed, filled into pre-labeled bags, and tightly sealed to preserve its freshness. Each bag typically weighs around 25 kilograms, just the right size for bakeries and food factories. Robotic arms carefully lift each bag of flour one by one, smoothly rotating and placing them neatly onto waiting pallets. The finished flour bags are then neatly stacked in climate-controlled storage, where both temperature and humidity are carefully monitored. And just like that, every pizza crust begins with a journey this meticulous. Right now, let's step into the pizza production factory, where all the anticipation truly begins. But before those golden, crispy pizza crusts hit the oven, let's take a quick detour to meet its flour-based cousin, the croissant, a pastry that also begins with the same soft white flour. The process begins with the most essential base ingredient, flour. First, a large amount of fine white flour is poured into the industrial mixing bowl, the very backbone of every croissant dough. Next comes the yeast, usually in fresh or compressed form. It's what brings the dough to life, giving the croissant its airy rise and soft texture. Then comes the cold water. Here's a little secret. To keep the dough cool and stable, especially during high-speed mixing, ice water or chilled water is often used. This helps prevent the butter from melting too soon later in the process and ensures the dough stays firm and ready for lamination. All of it goes into a massive industrial mixer, where powerful mixing arms knead the dough into a smooth, elastic mass, ready for the next act, the art of lamination. After the mixing and resting process is complete, the croissant dough moves on to a particularly crucial stage, lamination and shaping. Here the dough passes through an automated rolling system, where it's flattened and stretched into long, even sheets, as smooth and pale as ivory silk. Each sheet isn't just plain dough, it's a precise fusion of dough and butter, folded, rolled, and rested repeatedly in a process known as lamination. After every fold, the machine gently sprinkles a thin layer of flour over the surface, not only to prevent sticking, but also to ensure each layer stacks cleanly and distinctly. The alignment laser acts like the eyes of the production line, precisely positioning the dough along the programmed axis. This allows the rolling machine to shape each piece smoothly and uniformly. It's especially critical for croissants because even a slight misalignment can ruin the signature layered structure of the pastry. After being rolled into thin, the croissant dough is sent into a cutting machine that slices it into triangular shapes. However, along the outer edges of the dough sheet, excess strips often appear uneven, jagged, or fall outside the required dimensions. At this point, the automatic edge trimming system takes over. Additional side blades remove the unwanted edges, leaving each dough piece clean-cut, symmetrical, and easy to roll. After the croissant dough is cut, it moves on to the spreading stage, where each piece is gently separated and evenly arranged on the conveyor belt. Depending on the type of croissant being produced, some are rolled immediately, while others are upgraded with rich almond filling, fragrant chocolate, or savory ham and cheese. Then, intelligent rollers gently roll each piece from base to tip, creating the signature crescent shape we all recognize. The finished croissants look perfectly uniform, glossy, and irresistibly appealing, ready to head into the oven. The trays of dough now enter massive industrial ovens, where hundreds of croissants begin their spectacular transformation. At a temperature of around 107 to 190 degrees Celsius, the buttery layers slowly rise and expand. Each layer turns crisp and the edges curl upward with proud elegance. In just 15 to 20 minutes, you'll witness something close to magical. From simple rolled dough, the croissants emerge golden brown, light and airy. Then the croissants are transferred to the automated packaging area. Here they are sorted and neatly placed into bags. Each package is vacuum sealed and ready to be shipped to bakeries, supermarkets, and cafes around the world. And now comes the moment we've all been waiting for. Don't forget, we're still on a journey to create the perfect pizza. It all begins with the crispy, chewy crust, the foundation that can make or break a great pizza. Once the dough has rested long enough, it's divided into long strips and passed through rollers. Next, the dough enters the shaping and cutting stage, where circular, square, or oval cutters form each base precisely. Have you ever noticed those tiny little holes on a pizza crust? They look like someone gently poked the dough with a fork. Those holes actually help steam escape during baking, preventing the crust from puffing up or cracking. And this is where the real differences begin to show. If the croissant is a symphony of butter and layers, pizza is a playground of tomato sauce, cheese, and whatever flavors your heart desires. At this stage, the pizza crust is partially baked to set its structure, lightly dry the surface, and prevent the tomato sauce from soaking into the dough later on. Next, the tomato sauce is gently spread across the crust. This special sauce is made from ripe, juicy tomatoes blended with garlic, oregano, basil, and a touch of olive oil, creating a rich, slightly sweet and aromatic flavor that defines a classic pizza. The automatic cheese applicator operates with absolute precision. It uses fresh mozzarella, a cheese famous for its smooth melt, glossy finish, and rich texture that stays soft without releasing excess moisture. This is the secret weapon behind the irresistible appeal of every pizza. The amount of cheese is pre-measured according to specific recipes, depending on the pizza type, from classic to premium, to ensure the perfect stretch and deliciously melty richness when baked. Next, toppings like pepperoni, sausage, or bacon are automatically distributed over the freshly layered cheese. Slices of bright red pepperoni are neatly arranged, creating a visually appealing pattern and ensuring every bite is packed with rich, savory flavor. Before packaging, each pizza takes a quick trip through a gentle heating tunnel, like a mini spa session where the cheese melts just enough to hug the toppings tightly. This helps lock everything in place so nothing slides around during transport. Even better, the heat gives the surface a light sterilization, keeping the pizza fresh and safe for longer. After exiting the heating tunnel, the pizzas are moved to the packaging area. First, each pizza is tightly wrapped in plastic film to preserve freshness and maintain its shape during transport. Then, it's placed into a tray or box, labeled with product information and expiry date, and sent to cold storage for preservation before distribution. After that, the pizzas are transported to supermarkets, convenience stores, and distribution centers across the country. They are kept in consistently cold conditions throughout the journey to preserve their quality. And just like that, each fresh and delicious pizza is ready to become part of the daily meals of millions of families. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, share, and leave a comment.